Hello students of class 6. So today I am going to continue my topic of chapter 2. I hope all of you are doing questions and exercises in your home. Please during this lockdown period try to do as much as practice, because after this lockdown uh, you will not get this much time. So try to try to practice mathematics as much as possible and try to give more time in studies. Okay, so I'm going to start the topic. So the topic is properties of multiplication in whole number. Already the property in addition and subtraction I have discussed in my previous class. So now today I am going to discuss multiplication and division. So the first property is, as you know, the closure property. So in closure property, what you have to see, what you have to check, that if we take two whole numbers and we will multiply it, because this property is what? Multiplication, about multiplication. So you have to use the operation multiplication. So whenever we multiply two whole numbers, so what we will get? The answer is a whole number or not? If the answer is a whole number, then closure property is satisfied. If it is not a whole number, then closure property does not hold true for whole numbers, for multiplication of whole numbers. So here I have taken one example. See, suppose we have two boxes, and in each box we have 4 number of balls. So suppose this is box 1, here number of balls is 4, here also number of balls is 4. So how will you calculate the number of balls? You can simply add, means you can simply count forward, or you can use the operation multiplication. So if I will use the operation multiplication, then what I have to write? I have to write the number of balls in each box, that means 4, and it should be multiplied by the number of boxes. So 4 into 2, that means 4 into 2 is equal to what? 8. So 4 is also a whole number, 2 is also a whole number, and when we are multiplying it, the answer, that is 8, that is also a whole number. That means closure property holds true for multiplication in whole number. That means we can write closure property holds true in multiplication in whole numbers. You will get the sentence from book, so I am not writing it, I am just explaining the content which is in closure property. So the next property is commutative property. So as you all know, what you have to check in commutative property, that the value of A into B is equal to the value of B into A or not. So here see, I have again taken one example. So see here, I have taken 2 rows, and in 2 rows, in each row, number of persons standing is equal to 3. Suppose in first row, the number of person is 3, and in second row also the number of person is 3. So now I have to calculate by using multiplication method that how many total number of persons are present here. So what I have to do? First of all, I have to count the number of person in each row, that is 3. And then I have to multiply it with the number of rows. So here number of rows is 2. So that means 3 into 2. The answer will be what? 6. Similarly, see, here also I have taken 3 rows, first, second and third. And in each row, how many persons are standing? 1, 2. In first row we have 2 persons. In second row also we have 2 persons. In third row also we have 2 persons. So here also, first of all, see the number of person in one row. So number of person in one row is 2, and the total number of rows is 3. So it is multiplied by 3. So what will be the total number of person? It will be 6. So here see, in this case we are multiplying. First of all, we are taking 3, then we are multiplying it by 2. In that case, we are doing what? We are just interchanging the numbers. So first of all we are writing 2, then we are writing 3, and the answer is what? Same. That means if we multiply a whole number then the order does not matter. The order does not matter, or order does not changes the solution. So here order does not matter. That means commutative property can be it will be satisfied in case of multiplication in whole numbers. Similarly, the third property, already I told you in my last class that if commutative property is satisfied, then associative property is also satisfied in that case. So the next property is associative property. So in associative property, we have to check that this value is equal to the value, this value or not. In left hand side, we have taken B into C in bracket, but in right hand side, A and B are in bracket. So already I told you in my last class that if commutative property is satisfied, then associative properties also holds true in that case. Means it will be also satisfied because they both are what? Same. In commutative property, we have to take two numbers. That means here we are taking two whole numbers, but in associative property, we have to take three whole numbers. And similarly, we have to check the order. That means if we interchange the order, then the answer will change or not. You have to check that. So here, if you take any three whole numbers, for example, I am taking A 2, B is equal to 3, C is equal to suppose 5. So by solving left hand side and right hand side individually, so here I am getting the answer. In left hand side, first of all you have to solve the bracket first according to Bodmer's rule. So we are getting answer as 30, and in right hand side also we are solving the bracket first. So 2 into 3 it will be 6, 6 into 5 it will be 30. So what is the final conclusion? That the left hand side is equal to the right hand side. That means associative property holds true for multiplication in whole numbers. So next property is multiplicative identity. So the meaning of multiplicative is you have to multiply, and what is the meaning of identity? Identity means same. That means you have to find a number. When we multiply that number to a whole number, then we will get that same whole number again. For example, if I multiply 1 to 5, then what I will get? I will get again 5. That means here 1 is the multiplicative identity. 1 is called the multiplicative identity because whenever we multiply 1 to any whole number, we will get back that same whole number. So what you have to write? You have to write 1 is the multiplicative identity in whole numbers. So here we can write 1 into A is equal to A into 1 is equal to what? A. So 1 is the multiplicative identity in whole numbers. So the last property in multiplication is property of 0. So what happens when we multiply 0 to any whole number? Yes, the answer we will get as 0. So this is called property of 0. So you will get examples. Try to read the properties. Okay, it is given in book. Try to read the properties. So property of 0 we can write A is a whole number and I am multiplying 0 to the whole number. So I will get the answer as 0 again. So see one statement I am reading from book about property of 0. It is written, if we give 0 chocolate each to 5 children, that means we are giving 0 chocolate each to 5 children, then what happened? The number of chocolates given away will be what? 0. So that means we can write 0 into 5 is equal to 0. This example is same as I have taken in commutative property. You can take similar type of example. That means, for example, we have 2 rows and there are no persons standing in 2 rows. That means the number of person is what? 0. So what we have to write? In place of 3 we have to write 0, and in place of 2 you have to write 2. That means 0 into 2 will be what? 0. So like that you can make many examples by your own. So next again it is written, if we give 3 chocolates each to 0 children, then also the number of chocolates given away will be 0 as we have not given anything to anyone. So like that you can form many examples. So next is the property of division. So the first property, again closure property. So what you have to check? You have to take two whole numbers and divide one whole number by the other. Then the answer, that means the you will get the quotient. The quotient should be a what? The quotient should be a whole number. So here I am dividing 6 by 3. So the answer I am getting as 2. 2 is a whole number. This is okay. But when I am dividing 6 by what? 5. Then I am getting 1 by 5. That means I am getting a mixed fraction, or in decimal you can write it as 1.2. So 1.2 is not a whole number. As you all know, 1.2 is not a whole number. So closure property in case of whole number, it will not satisfy. It will satisfy in some cases, in some whole numbers, but it will not be satisfied in all whole numbers. So we have to take the cases of all whole numbers. Therefore closure property does not hold true for division of whole numbers. Second property is commutative property. In commutative property, again you have to take two whole numbers, you have to interchange the numbers, and you have to see that the answer in both the cases is same or not. So if I will take 4 and 2, suppose the value of A is 4 and the value of B is 2. So what happens, see in left hand side, for left hand side I have to write A divided by B, that means 4 divided by 2, and it will be what? 2. But when we are doing for right hand side, that means B divided by A, that is 2 divided by 4. So 2 divided by 4 we can write 2 by 4, and when cancellation happens, then the answer will be what? 1 by 2. So as you all know, 1 by 2 and 2 both are not equal. 1 by 2 means what? 1 divided by 2, and it will be what? 0.5. We are getting 0.5 here. So in left hand side we are getting 2, in right hand side we are getting 0.5, or you can say 1 by 2. So in both the cases, both left hand side and right hand side are not equal. Therefore commutative property does not hold true in division in whole numbers. So next is associative property. So I will not do the associative property, just you have to check A divided by B divided by C. A divided by B you have to take in one bracket, then divide by C equal to A divide, in bracket again you have to write B divided by C. So both the values are same or not, you have to check. Just take 3 whole numbers and divide. So you can see that the left hand side part will not be equal to right hand side part. As commutative property and associative property both are same, in commutative we are taking 2 whole numbers. If the case is not true for two whole numbers, then how it will be true for 3 whole numbers? So you can take any example, any whole number, and by that you can easily solve the left hand side part and right hand side part. You can see that associative property does not hold true for division in whole numbers. So next is some special properties are there. So there are 3 special properties. So I am reading from book only. So the first property is whenever a whole number is divided by 1, we get the same whole number, as you all know. If we divide, suppose here the number is 2. So whenever we divide 2 by 1, we will get the same whole number again. So that means this property suggests that if 2 divided by 1, if 2 is divisible, divide by 1, then the answer will be what? 2 again. And 4, in any case, you will get the same whole number again. So this is the first property. The second property if 0 is divided by any whole number, the result will be always 0. That means if you divide any whole number, take any whole number, suppose 46, and 0 divided by 46 will be what? Will be again 0. So this is the second property, and you can see that there are examples also. Some examples are also given. You can read the examples also. So number 3 is the last property. The last special property is division of a whole number by 0 is meaningless and it is not allowed. That means if we divide any whole number by 0, we will get nothing means we get meaningless quantity, that is not meaningful, so that is not allowed. So take care about this. You have to see that we cannot divide a whole number by 0. So this much is in this chapter. So in my next lecture I am going to discuss some of the question. Please go through the properties. I am telling again and again, you have to practice the property and try to read from book, as you have so much time in your home during this lockdown period. So try to do as much as question in home. Okay, thank you.